We posted that Instagram story pretty much like, hey, give us some ideas that are kind of like controversial topics in the baseball world. Our boy, special guest today, Big John Rhodes, put on there, getting stronger is always better. And I know for me, first you got to ask, what is strength, especially in regards to the sport of baseball? Is it like squatting more weight? Because if that's the only strength we're focusing on, I don't necessarily think that's better. If it's getting more robust as a whole system, you're moving better, you're stronger through deeper ranges of motion, you can still produce force and velocity, that's good, right? Those are good things. But I think when people think strength in the baseball world or in any sport at this point, it's how much do you squat, how much do you bench? Oh, we're getting stronger, we're automatically going to see kind of like performance gains on the field. I mean, y'all both have played at the highest level. Y'all tell me, like, is that what we're seeing?
Well, that's why Rhodes asked that question. You don't like putting weight on the bar.
That makes sense. Yeah. Setup question.
Well, I mean, I think in my personal experiences, I when I went to Kentucky, I kind of had that notion that if I'm stronger, if I'm the strongest guy on the field, I'm gonna play, I'm gonna be good. And we did testing kind of that first fall, and I had like the second lowest bat speed. But I was on rack 1, which was
top
dog rack,
Yeah.
top 3 guys. And the other 2 guys with me, same thing. They didn't have a lot of bat speed. They weren't great hitters by any standard. And then we had a guy on rack 8 that hit a ball 498 in like the second scrimmage. And I'm like, I might need to rethink this whole thing.
That is tanked.
Yeah, I mean, crushed. And so couldn't even bench 135. And so I was like, I kind of need to rethink a little bit of this, and that kind of got my wheels turning. And then college was still, you do your strength coach's thing. It's how it is. But I think from that point on until I connected with you, probably in 22, that it really changed that hardwire in me to realize like there's more to it to get more out of you, especially transitioning from a metal to a wood bat. Like, you really do have to move well. It's not all just about
for sure
the guy that can deadlift 600 pounds, and I've just seen it too much firsthand over the years. Just the notes.
So, talk about filling up that bucket. The guys, when they go to college, you see a lot of gains quick.
Yeah.
The guys who go to college.
And that is the big thing. Like, we train a ton of college athletes, a lot of guys that worked with us all through high school, and a lot of them are putting up better numbers their senior year than when they come back after their freshman season, and you're like, what's up? And you start looking, and the emphasis that's put on kind of block 0 for incoming freshmen is always, oh, well, you need to get bigger and stronger. You need to get bigger and stronger. And I'll tell you, most of these guys are pretty big and strong. I mean, a lot of them are around 200 pounds, split squat the house. We don't bench a ton, but who cares? Once again, it's like, is that an automatic, improvement in performance? So it's kind of like Cole was saying, when you fill that bucket of strength, it's like, how much more do I have to go chasing? Do I want to overfill that bucket? And if I do overfill that bucket, what are the adaptations that occur? So you take like far into the spectrum, take a power lifter. Okay? They are super stable, highly compressive. They can put a ton of force through a barbell. Great. That's their sport. That makes a lot of sense. Take a lineman, take a defensive, offensive lineman. They also need that. Makes a lot of sense. You start taking guys that have to rotate at 7,000 meters per second. That's a little bit different story, okay? Because when we start looking at kind of momentum and connective tissue, we have to be able to find positions and capture energy well in baseball to produce the power that we need to rotate at that kind of velocity. So, like, it's just, once again, it's so black and white sometimes in the training world of stronger's better, you squat more, you're automatically going to hit it further, throw it harder. I mean, Cole, take yourself. I mean, for you initially, getting strong was good. For everybody initially, is getting strong is good.
That's what I was going to say. I think that's the difference from when we were going to college, is the recruiting is so different now, where if you're not physically developed and like ready to play, you're not going to get a Power 5 scholarship.
Yeah.
So for us, there was a lot of projection involved in us going to school. Like, they liked that. They liked the thought of, okay, we can get this guy for this much and we can get in there, get him stronger, and then he can make that jump. So a lot of us did. When we got to college, we weren't, physically mature guys. And so, like you said, we still had room in that bucket to fill up. We get to college, we make that jump. And so then you make that jump when you get strong, and you think, oh, if I just continue to do this, I'm just going to keep getting better and better and better. And then, like you said, you run out at a certain point, and then it becomes like weight room interference where you don't feel good. Like I remember when I had surgery, like all I did was just pretty much meathead lift for the whole time I was rehabbing. And I come back and I just like, I can barely dunk a basketball. I'm like, that used to be easy for me.
Yeah.
And I just knew I wasn't athletic. I felt stiff. I felt rigid. I didn't feel good. And I knew I just had to do something to get that back. I wasn't feeling explosive. I was literally just like a big brute. And now that I've kind of tapped back into that, like it just feels so much better. Your body holds up so much better.
Yeah.
Less soreness, less aches. I just feel like, like I'm in high school again, really, is what it is, with more strength.
That's what I feel like going from high school to college to professional baseball. Like I did lose some of that athleticism. It's the same way. High school, I could dunk a basketball pretty easily. I did long jump. I did all those things. Then I got to college, you specialize, and you start working out. And I think over the years, I just slowly started to lose some speed, some like everything, honestly. And I think it's just from like, you have a focus in the weight room in baseball. I stand in place, I rotate, and you're not doing those athletic movements. You're not playing those games. You're not moving around doing athletic, childlike things. And I think it just, like you said, with those buckets, like it just strips away a lot of the athleticism bucket. If you just overflow this one, it kills everything.
Yes, for sure. And I can attest to both you guys. It's like, Cole, when you came in, you looked like a NFL blocking tight end. He was like 6'6", 265.
Clip that, Mitch.
Yeah. Big. And Rhodes, when you came in, you got roasted pretty hard for your lack thereof movement capabilities. Lack there. And to, for these guys to come in, the goal with you guys was, hey, let's restore that. Let's get that athletic quality back through small end games, through movement type stuff. And both you guys had great, successful off seasons the past couple of years and have made the jumps. For you, your exit below from that 2022 to 2023 season, that jumped tremendously. Or am I saying that right?
My 90th EV led professional baseball.
Yeah, you jumped what, 5 miles per hour almost?
5 miles an hour,
yeah, so it's like, and it doesn't mean we didn't touch any weight. Like, we still lift weights. Like, don't get that twisted. But it's how do we do it? Is the positions, are we in the right positions? Are we coupling with that something that's of a little bit higher velocity focused? Are we coupling with that something that's kind of maintaining the movement qualities we need? So it's really not like this, don't lift weights, it's bad. It's, okay, use the weight room as a tool, like anything in sports and development. Use it as a tool. And then figure out what tool this individual needs. Like, once again, for Cole and John both, big weight room guys. I mean, John, you've benched 335 pounds, flexing for them. But in Cole, you've squatted what? A lot. So it's like, okay, these guys are strong. You guys aren't going to lose that quality of strength, especially if you're still doing high CNS type stuff. Yeah. And I think that's where a lot of people get it twisted is, for instance, you take a fast athlete, and they're typically going to be strong in the weight room because they have a high nervous system. Like, they have a high CNS. It's very developed. There's a genetic component to it. Take any elite athlete. Majority of times, they're going to be pretty solid in the weight room. There's some instances. Baseball's a little different because you don't have to be this genetic freak by no means. But it's like, are they fast because they're strong, or are they strong because they're fast? And that's kind of my thought process with a lot of that is like, okay, how do we develop the nervous system? And it's not just through, like we said, you can develop through a squat, yes, but like that's low velocity, high force. For baseball being a high velocity sport, it's like, don't we want to develop the nervous system towards that velocity end a little bit more than that heavy, slow force output end? In my eyes, yes. And from kind of what we've seen in these past 5 years and 10 years from me training athletes, it stood true. We've had great results with rotational athletes,
And the demand of the sport, kind of like John was talking about earlier, is so much greater in baseball. Like, you just play so many more games. Like football, you're playing once a week. Like you said, powerlifting, you're doing it, 2 times a year, 3 times a year? So, you can really pack
sell
on
out
those
for that.
pounds. Yeah, you can sell out for stuff like that. In football, obviously, you're practicing and stuff. But like sports like basketball and baseball, you're playing daily. Like, you've got to keep the CNS at a good spot where you can compete daily, too. And if you're taxing it day in and day out, it's going to be tough. So I guess the moral of the story here is play peak ball, play pickleball.
Play some spike ball.
Ultimate frisbee.
Get back on the court a little bit.
Yeah, there is an aspect of that as an athlete. Like, you want to compete. And you want to compete in the weight room, too.
Yeah.
Like, you're a competitor. So take that competition and go play some games, actually.
For sure. I think I think that was huge. I think that's something we do really well here is give that platform for it. Like we're going to try to do some type of something athletic each day. And it's fun, you know what I'm saying?
It's fun.
So Rhodes, that was a great question. I think what we can all agree on is take the individual, understand what they need. If it is strength, fantastic, train it. If it's elasticity and movement, fantastic, train it. It's a spectrum with training, and I think we have to make sure that we're matching the individual and the demands of the sport to make sure we're getting the best performance.